Have you ever stopped to think about what makes your Android phone so flexible? It's not just about the apps you can download. There's this absolutely brilliant core idea, kind of like a secret ingredient at the very heart of the entire system. In this explainer, we're going to unlock that idea together, the one that makes your phone not just a smart device, but this incredibly adaptable tool. So let's dive right in.
Okay, so it all kicks off with something super simple. You're in your gallery, you find an amazing photo, and you hit that share button, right? We all do it probably a dozen times a day without a second thought. But what's really going on under the hood when you make that tap? That simple question? Well, that's the key to understanding everything.
So first up, it is so much more than just a tap. That little press of your finger isn't a direct command. It's not one part of your phone bossing another specific part around. It's actually more like the start of a conversation. It's a request that gets sent out into the digital world inside your phone. Here's a great way to think about it. Instead of your photo gallery app shouting, "Hey, Instagram app, post this picture right now," it does something way more clever. It writes a little note that says, "Hey, I've got a picture that needs to be shared," puts that note in a bottle, and just tosses it into the sea. It has no idea who's going to pick it up, and honestly, it doesn't even care. It just knows the job that needs to be done. This brings us to our next part, the intent. You see, that message in a bottle has an official technical name in the Android world. It's called an intent. And this is the part you really want to pay attention to, because if you can wrap your head around this one concept, you're pretty much on your way to understanding the whole system. So what is it? Put simply, an intent is a message describing something you want to do. It's a description of an action, like view this website or pick a contact, or in our case, share this photo. It's basically a job description, not an assignment to a specific employee. It's all about the what, not the who. And I really can't stress this enough. This one idea is everything. The idea of separating the request for a job from the person or app that does the job. That is the fundamental design principle that makes Android, well, Android. It is the master key. Okay, so if an intent is basically a job posting, then who are the applicants? Who can actually answer the call? Well, every single Android app you have is built from a combination of 4 specialized parts or components. You can think of them as 4 different types of businesses, each one designed to handle a very specific kind of job. All right, let's meet the team. These are the 4 fundamental building blocks that are always listening for those intents and are ready to respond. First up, and the one you're most familiar with, is the activity. This is basically the storefront of an app. It's the user interface, the screen you actually look at and touch. When you open your email or scroll through your contacts, you are interacting with an activity. Next, we've got the service. This is the invisible employee working in the back room. A service has no user interface at all, and its whole job is to handle long-running tasks in the background. You know when you're playing a song on Spotify and then you switch over to check your email, but the music keeps playing? That's a service hard at work. Then there's the broadcast receiver. This one's kind of like the town crier. It doesn't really do a lot of heavy lifting itself, but it's designed to wake up for just a split second to react to big announcements happening across the whole phone. Things like, "Hey, a text message just came in," or "Warning, the battery is low." And then it usually passes the real work off to a service or an activity. And last but not least, we have the content provider. This component is the official, super secure data librarian for an app. Its job is to manage access to a central pool of data, like your contacts list. It makes sure that other apps can get or change that data, but only if they have the right permissions. It's like a gatekeeper for information. So let's just quickly put the 2 most common ones side by side. An activity is what you see. It has a UI and it's there for a specific task you're doing right now. A service, on the other hand, is what runs in the background. No UI, totally independent of what's on your screen, and it's built for those long-haul jobs. Okay, so we've got our job requests, the intents, and we've met our potential workers, the 4 components. But how does Android play matchmaker? How does it possibly know which app is the right one for the job? Well, it all comes down to the rulebook. Every single app on your phone has a special file baked into it called the Android Manifest.xml. The best way to think of this is as a business directory or maybe an app's resume. In this file, the app officially declares all of its components, and this is the crucial part, what kinds of intents it knows how to handle. It's like putting an ad in the paper that says, "Hey, I'm an expert photo editor," or "My specialty is sending text messages." So now let's put it all together. You tap share on that photo. That creates an intent, a job request that basically says, "Share this image data." The Android operating system then becomes the ultimate dispatcher. It scans its master directory, every single app's manifest file, and it makes a list of every activity that has advertised, "Yep, I can handle sharing an image." And that list is what you see pop up on your screen asking if you want to use Instagram or Gmail or WhatsApp. And this brings us to the big finale. This whole system of messages and responders and directories, it creates something really profound. It creates a universe on your phone that is just incredibly dynamic and flexible. Yeah, there's a cool technical name for this whole process of connecting the request with the responder at the very last possible second. It's called late binding. And all that means is the connection, the binding, happens in real time, late in the process, not when the app was first written. Okay, so that's the tech deep dive. But let's bring it back. What does this actually mean for you, the person just trying to use your phone? Why should you care about intents and late binding in your everyday life? It matters a ton. This is the entire reason you can download Google Chrome and set it as your default browser. It's why an app you downloaded today can magically work with a social media app you installed a year ago, even though those two developers have never even met. It means any part of your phone's experience can be replaced by a better one, which creates this amazing, competitive, and innovative world right there in your pocket. So let's just end on this thought. Because of this core philosophy, the intent, your Android phone isn't some static, unchanging object. It's a living, breathing, modular system. It's like a community of independent apps that have all agreed to cooperate using a common language. And that means every single function on your phone, from taking a photo to browsing the web, is never set in stone. It's always open to being challenged, replaced, and made better by anyone. And that, right there, is the true power of Android.